SPO, Special Purpose Ordinary Meeting to adopt the annual plan. I'll just remind everybody that webcam is on. Can be watched at your leisure or live, as you all know. With webcam, I'll call for apologies. But firstly, I have received apologies of Councillor Rob Henderson and possibly Councillor Kirsty Truman, either lateness or may not be here with looking after their baby issues. So, any further apologies? There being none, I've got a mover. Second day, Councillor Johnson, moved, Councillor Downard, second, Councillor Johnson. All those in favour? Aye. Right. Agenda item number 1 is the consideration of the recommendation from the Mangakino Pouakani Rec Group which relates to toilets. Kirsty not being here, Councillor Hickling is one of the members of that group, and their recommendation to Council, which is on the other side of the page one by one. So I think we'll take it as read. If anybody wishes to comment.
I'd just like to support the recommendation of worship from that working party group. But, well, particularly the whakaaro toilet's been on the agenda for some time. It's been, moved around, and I think now we've got some conclusion of the site, and certainly making all our other sanitaries outdoor toilet facilities, so maintaining that really doesn't.
Anybody else like to speak about the motion at all?
Yep, I'd just like to endorse Councillor Hickling's comments. There's been even in the years in my first training in the first 3 years, so I think it's a project that needs to go ahead and be done from.
So I'll take Councillor Hickling as the mover, I'll take Councillor Downard as seconder. I'd also just like to, I'm sure on behalf of speaking of everybody in the room here, I'm very, very pleased to see this small amount of money going to such good public good, especially with the Waikato River Trails. The pressure it's put on Whakamaru, the amount of people using those trails, which brings a lot of enterprise into our beautiful district. Toilets have been a must there for a long time, so I'm also happy to support it, and also I personally, like a lot of other people, know what it's like to attend a funeral or something like that, and need to have the use of the toilet. So I totally support both these toilets for that district. Any further talk, Councillor Williams?
Just one query. Is 5,000 per annum typical of any of our public toilets with regards to the operational expenditure?
This is a pump-out style toilet, perhaps 3 times a year or something. Has to be empty, so that's the operational cost. But these are not plumbed into the sewage system per se. So nothing further, all those in favour? Aye. And welcome to Councillor Fate.
Excuse me, like this, Your Worship.
No problem, my friend. Moving now to agenda item number 2, which is the rates remission and postponement policy, which is this transitional remission policy that we're in our second year over there. The second year. So Neil, would you care to comment please?
Yes, certainly. The policy was adopted as part of the long-term plan. It is a policy that has a life of 3 years. But as part of the policy, we need to review on an annual basis the thresholds that relate to the remission side of it. So we went through that in the council workshops with you earlier, and in the review process there. So really, this is just the formality side of it, just adopting the fact that we've workshopped the changes, we've workshopped the allowable remission amounts, and we're now just adopting the same thresholds that was in the original LTP for use in the 2013-14 year.
Okay, do we have any questions or discussion arising from that? Okay. If There being none, I will now put the motion, which is at the, I'm sorry? Yep. I'm now going to ask for a mover and a seconder, please. Move, Councillor Wynne, seconded Councillor Ackley. I'll now put the motion. All those in favour? Aye. Against? No one. Carried. Item number 3, draft annual plan. We have with my lovely friend Helen here. Helen.
Good afternoon. So what we're going to do now is just take you through effectively all of the last minute details and changes as we've finalised the proposed draft annual plan. Neil's going to first of all walk you through some of the changes in the financials, and then because the words should sync up with that, then I'll just take you through some of the specific wording areas that we're going to address. And there's a couple of other bits and pieces we'll look at there, just to make sure you're confident that the draft annual plan that you adopt is the one that you thought you were adopting.
Okay, basically the handout that I've just given you, unfortunately every time you alter one number in these documents has a flow-on effect through the whole document. So the changes that have been made since we sent out the document to you fundamentally is bringing in the 2 toilets in Mangakino. So it has a capital and an operational impact. They flow through a lot of the numbers. And there's just been some minor kind of reclassification things of a couple of other numbers in there as well. But fundamentally, I mean, I don't intend to walk through all of this with you. We'll be here for a long time. But the one that I do just want to get back to you on, if I can find it. That's right. Did I miss you out?
Yes, you did.
That's just appalling, isn't it? Sorry for that.
Very pleased to see the amendment on page 11. 600k.
Particularly these 3 councils over here representing this thing. Blue, red and green. Very colourful. Brazil. No, not Brazil. Sorry Neil, have you found the page yet?
Yeah, no, I finally got there. Yeah, I realised the reason why I couldn't find it in the part I handed out is because it didn't change. So really, I guess just what I wanted to bring you back to is page 47 of 84. That's in the main document, the draft that we handed out, the one with the picture on the front. Really just to get you back to the funding increase of 4.4. So that has stayed the same. And as I said, the minor adjustments that were made throughout the rest of the statements, unfortunately you get a bit of a handout, but it's a process issue, we have to do that. It's the inclusion of the 2 toilets and the operational costs associated with that. So in terms of the numbers, just a couple of minor other reclassifications. Fundamentally the rates increase, the funding increase is still 4.4, and we've brought them at additional money here. So unless you really want me to walk you through about 25 pages of statements, I'd leave it there.
Okay, Councillor Williams.
The cost of service statement summary. Now I know we've covered this before, but I just can't quite keep that page 11.
Right.
Now the forecast and annual plan is approximately 620k difference there. But our operating costs have a 0% increase. I just wonder if you could fill me in there again.
Right. Okay. So the funding increase for the business is comes to 4.4% all up. Okay, so that's the 2.4, which is the financial strategy, which encompasses the ETA debt and the property debt, and the 2% is the cost of infrastructure, like the water treatment plant and wastewater stuff that we've done. So, and then we're also in year 2 of our financial strategy. So, and you'll see it in the resolution when we get to it that our operating revenues are lower than our operating expenditure. And that's where the strategy kicks in terms of applying those property sales and the forestry sales to step us up to the point that we need to be to in 3 years' time where operating revenues meet the operating expenditures.
Yeah, thank you. I knew there was an explanation. Thank you for clarifying that, because it is a 600k shortfall, and that's correct. Thank you.
Is there any further? I want to raise one, and I'm sure this I'll allow Mr. Williams to extrapolate on it. He's been involved in more meetings than I have attended around the district in the last. Somewhere in this annual plan, there's an excess of $100,000 being put into the operational budget, which is about collaborating and supporting all the other districts in the Waikato to find efficiencies and ways we can work together and bits and pieces like that. But my first point is that any human being would totally agree with doing the 2 toilets at Mangakino and Whakaaro, and I think it would be a pretty short-sighted person that did it. And yet we've decided that we're going to wrap that up and put that as a totally separate and attract the eye to it as hard as we can. And yet I struggled to find this $100,000 in these operational costs to join in, which basically at the end of the day in layman's language will end up going in consultants' pockets to tell everybody how great they are and how we can work together and show central government that no, we don't need to be made unitary authorities or whatever it's designed to do. But it's pretty fluffy stuff in my opinion, because coming down the track at 100 miles an hour, local government will be told what it's going to be doing in a very short near while, I'm sure of that, by central government. But my 2 issues are, 1, should we be supporting it? And 2, if we are, and it's over $100,000, 70 grand next year, including the year after, all councils put together in the Waikato region, which is 11, it's $1.3 million, and you'll be introduced to it next Monday at Kaunihera, where Mayor Virko has already sent me out how it's going to work next Monday. You're all going to be sitting like someone watching opera theatre, and all the mayors are going to be down one table, and they're going to get up and talk about their plans for the future and how we should work together with our waters and our this and our that and everything. It's going to be really, really quite fluffy, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but there's 2 issues for me. 1, should we be in it? I don't believe we should. And 2, I believe it should be in neon lights in our annual plan.